This 30 for 30 tonight is just awesome.
Good.
It is. No, it's not good. It's great. It really is.
But you know what I wanted, Rich? They've been calling me for years to do the 30 for 30.
I'm sure.
You know, and hey, what is this going to do for me? You're going to play it over and over. You're going to get, I ain't getting nothing from this. So I want to really bless people. So I don't want to just do the football one or just the baseball one. Let's do one that really talked about what really transpired behind the curtain on the two sports in one day. So that's how this came about. I didn't want to do the normalcy thing. Let's do something, because that day troubled me to this day. And people still really don't know what transpired behind the curtains, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. And I'm still puzzled. Like, my contract is over July the 31st. I'm still here, and you made me out to be the bad guy. How does that happen? That you made me to be the villain, that I was being selfish, and that's why I love social media today. An athlete has his opportunity to articulate himself. Could you imagine if I would have been in the era?
Yeah.
First of all, oh goodness, the followers I would have had.
A lot of sliding.
Oh.
Yeah.
Deion and Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Well, your Instagram game is pretty on fire right now.
But you know what? My whole social media I attribute to Rich, because I wouldn't do it. Because contrary to what you may think, I'm very I'm priming it today because this is called. But normally I'm Deion, and Rich knows that. And I'm really recluse when it comes to certain things, and he talked me into the way he got me. He said, you know what? You send out an inspirational every morning, as long as I've known you. Imagine how many more people you could reach if you did this. And that's what got me. Years ago, he was on my butt about going on social.
Yeah, and to make sure that it was your name at Deion Sanders.
True.
Got to get that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I would teach you anything about branding or image,
you did,
I'll
though.
I will take that. That's like a walk-off. That's like a walk-off.
You did, though. I attribute that to you. You was on my butt about it.
Well,
I finally did it.
So that the one day, for those, let's just delve into it a little bit, and I want to give the whole story away because everybody needs to watch tonight at 9 Eastern on ESPN, the 30 for 30. The day that we're talking about is the helicopter to go from one place to the other.
No, it was a jet. It was a jet.
Okay.
It was a jet. The helicopter was to get to the jet.
Right, okay, right.
I still don't know how that came about. Like, I'd never said to anybody, hey, man, I need a helicopter to get down 85 to get to the game. I never said, I don't know how the next thing you know, a helicopter's on the practice field waiting for me. Cool. What am I supposed to do? Say, nah, I'm good. So I was driving that traffic.
You had no idea.
I had no idea who provided it, who paid for it. I know I didn't. I have no idea who provided that on a daily basis after football practice. But I know the two sports on one day to even think about that. It wasn't that I wanted to play two sports on one day. It was that the fact that I'm getting ready to send my Falcons, my beloved Falcons, and football is my heart, out there against Dan Marino, Duper, Clayton, and Nat Moore without me in the secondary. That's stupid. And it's to me, that's selfish. And I have a football contract. And now I got the Braves saying they mad at me, and it's October. The contract is long gone. So I'm helping you, and you got an attitude with me. I didn't understand that. And it hurt me, man. It hurt me because it was like you're doing so much for somebody that don't even respect you, and then they have no regard for the other team that you're playing with because they felt like, oh, this is our moment. Forget them. Well, we're trying to get to the playoffs too. And I have a whole group of teammates over there that love me just as much as you love me, and I got love for them. So just not being there for them while I'm sitting on the bench for 9 innings, how do I explain that? And that was the dilemma, and it was tough. Okay. And it got to a point where after I played in Miami, I really wanted to just take the plane back to Atlanta and say, man, forget y'all. But kids, adults, whatever you start, you finish. Whatever you start, you finish, and I had to finish.
Plus, your teammates are there, too.
Amen.
I mean, it's not like their teammates were the ones who were...
Right, and I loved them.
Right?
And Smoltzy and TP and Terry Pendleton and all that, Glavin and Avery, all those guys, man, those were my guys. Dave Justice, Gant, Limp Dog, Limpke. I love those guys to life. This way you never heard nothing that transpired out of any of my teammates. It was just management, and it bothered me.
It's the same thing, by the way, for TV. I just want to say that as well. I mean, no, I'm serious. I mean, I'll never forget when you first arrived at the NFL Network, and I had never really met you, okay? I had covered you, and I had watched you. One of the first things you did, and I'll say this, Mariucci's coming up in hour number 3. It was me, you, and Mooch for all those years.
Yeah.
Okay. Doing the highlights. And Mooch had just come off the field as a coach. Okay. You had many years now of working at CBS as well, and obviously many decades of being prime. And so we got on the set, and Mooch was on the end. You were in the middle, and I was on the left.
Right.
And you, after we did one show where Mooch was trying to figure out how to get in on our conversations or the highlights, you came off the set and you're like, why am I in the middle? Like, if I'm in the middle.
Well, I was the black guy.
No,
that had something to do with it.
Well, I didn't know, but you were in the middle. You're like, you wanted to be, you said, put me on the end.
True.
Because Mariucci could just, if he's out there on the end of the set, he's going to get lost. Nobody's going to hear from him. Maybe he's not going to be in the mix. And I'm like, that is one of the most, sharing, giving, self-aware comments I've ever seen from any analyst. And that's typical of you. And I want that said as well. That is typical of you.
Thank you. Well, the thing that I always emphasize is team. Team. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today without a team. And that's on the field, off the field with your family, with the kids. I mean, you got to have a team. And I truly believe in that in all aspects, man.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.